Smart quip! Showing I'm funny! Explosion, explosion! But smart talking stuff! Underground, released in 2019 on Netflix and is directed by Michael Bay, who is behind every single explosion that you've seen in a movie, and the lady cast members who are wearing unnecessarily short shorts. And this film is starring Ryan Reynolds, Melanie Laurent, Adria Arjona, Corey Hawkins, Manuel Garcia-RULFO, Ben Hardy, and Dave Franco. And you may have noticed a subtle change to my background. This is actually my office that I work in my day job. So whenever I'm on a Zoom call, all of the people who are watching me go like, wow, is that really your background? Do you really have all of those things? And I have to go, yes. Yes, I do. But I recently recorded a ranking video with my wife, set it up in here, and actually I really enjoyed how it looked on camera and how this setup looked on camera. And I've been kind of meaning on getting away from the flashing all of my physical media in my background. Kind of just an old set and an old idea, trying to move to something new. So now I'm moving to all of my Funko Pops in the background. Now that I'm saying that out loud, it's not much of an aesthetic improvement, but I don't know, I like the atmosphere in here. And if any of you do want to check out that ranking video of my wife and I ranking all of the big blockbuster films that have been released since 1993, you can subscribe to the channel. You become a member for the month of November. You can check out that video well before it is officially released to the public. Who knows when that's going to be. And also the reason why we're talking about 6 Underground today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel, James Filbury. Thank you very much for your support and your recommendation. I know you threw this recommendation in at the end of your little bundle that you sent me, and I know the reason why you recommended this movie, you smartass, but I appreciate it, and hell, you know what? I'm finally reviewing it, so maybe this will be the end of it, James. I don't know. It probably won't be. But if anyone else out there also wants to be like James and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation, and if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out, just like what I did with James Filbury here. How many times has a murderer, rapist, or tyrant dictator gone free because they're hiding behind red tape and government policies and government decisions and bullshit like that? Well, there is a small task force unknown to any government around the world called the Ghost, whose mission is to set out to take out those dictators and terrible people when the governments don't want to step in because of all the politics behind it. And that's really as basic as this movie is. It's a pretty basic premise. There is a bad guy that governments don't want to get involved in particular the US government, because majority of people on this Ghost team are from the US. So the military doesn't want to get involved. Here come the Ghosts to take out said tyrant. And then there's some fun Michael Bay stupid shenanigans with sex, drugs, unnecessary comedy that happen in here. Now, I do recall people giving this film a glowing review, especially since it was just released on Netflix. It didn't have a theatrical release right onto Netflix. All you do is pay $7.99 a month. You remember those days pre-pandemic? And then you have this action-packed, well-produced film by Michael Bay available for you. So kudos to Michael Bay for working with Netflix. 2019, I guess this film would have been shot in 2018. So at that time, a lot of big-time directors thought themselves too big or too prominent to do things for Netflix and other streaming services. Actually, we didn't even have Disney Plus back then, or HBO Max, or Max, or Warner Brothers Max, or whatever. You had people like Spielberg and Scorsese saying, oh no, that'll never be me, that'll never happen. And then here comes Michael Bay. I wouldn't say he's the first one, but he's a big-name director, lending himself out to Netflix to do this. So, you know what? Kudos to him. Not the biggest Michael Bay fan, as many of you probably know. I think all of his movies are basically the same, where it's all about action, 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 and when it comes to the plot and characters, those can get put on the back burner. We'll give them some fun little quips for them to say during it so that they look cool on screen while they're doing all the explosion stuff. And if you're into the whole Michael Bay styles, spectacle before character and before plot, then yeah, this is the movie for you. We get all the standard stuff from Michael Bay that we've come to know, know. If a scene is taking place outdoors or in a well-lit, natural-lit room in a skyscraper somewhere, and the sun is supposed to be in the background, the entire background is just going to be overexposed and it's going to be white as hell. All the explosions and trick effects that we get in here with cars and guns and everything has like the firework effect with the explosion. A car will run off a ramp and hit a pole, and then this firework will just shoot out of nowhere, and then the explosion happens. Because I don't know if you knew this, every car comes equipped with its own firework system. And we have our standard Michael Bay editing, where everything is very kinetic, everything is very fast-paced, we have quick cuts in between tires screeching and cars turning sharp corners, and then fun little quip from Dave Franco or Ryan Reynolds, and then back to the action on the outside. That's all Michael Bay films are to me, and he just keeps continuing to do the same thing, and people love him for it, and people still give him money, and studios still allow him to do the same thing without ever evolving. You know, cool. Good for him. If he found his niche that people are going to be paying him for to keep doing the same thing, kind of like a Tim Burton-esque director, then yeah, go ahead and keep doing that. I feel like my review is kind of all over the place and I'm kind of rambling, but you know what? That's a Michael Bay film for me. It's all over the place. It's rambling. Is it fun at points? Yeah, of course. We have Ryan Reynolds in here. He is the lead ghost dude person. And yeah, he's cool because he's doing the Ryan Reynolds stuff, and Ryan Reynolds is awesome. Someone needs to coach his wife on how to promote a movie about domestic abuse better than what she's doing, but Ryan Reynolds is cool. But it's a bunch of people off the books going after this bad guy, and they get the bad guy, and then they're like, oh, should we break up or should we stay together for, you know, the next mission? This movie is pretty standard fun when it comes to a Michael Bay film. If you're into combat scenes, into parkour, if you're into car crashes and car chases, then yeah, this is the movie for you. If you're looking for anything substantial when it comes to plot and character development, it's a Michael Bay film. You're definitely not going to get that here. But in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, I think this was an okay time, and it was enjoyable at points. I'm going to give 6 Underground 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
So guys, if you've seen 6 Underground, what did you think about it? What is your ranking of all of the Michael Bay films that have come out, at least in the last 20 years? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, what is your ranking of all the Michael Bay films? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.